Alright, I'm back with another video full of issues or possible bugs. Um, so just going through my unit design screen, and I noticed a couple of problems with balance. The main thing is the issue of Legendary Broadsword versus Legendary Longsword. Now if you look at the stats, a Legendary Longsword does 15 cutting attack plus 1 initiative. A Legendary Broadsword does 15 cutting attack plus 1 initiative plus 2 accuracy. Broadsword weighs 6, Longsword weighs 9. Now my guess is that they meant that to be the other way around, so you could choose between plus 2 accuracy or plus 9 weight, or plus 3 weight. But really that's still not even a choice. I mean, let's look at the things. They look pretty similar too. And if you look at the metal cost, the broadsword is still better because it only costs 3 metal and 20 labor, and the longsword costs 4 metal and 30 labor. So basically you'd have no reason to ever choose a legendary longsword. And this isn't a technology that I researched where I started out with a longsword and then I was able to later get a broadsword. I got this tech from defeating the arena quest. If you go to all the way to the end and you're able to kill the obsidian golems, which are just ridiculously strong, I was able to do it, and my reward was legendary weaponry. So this isn't something that's like a progression issue, it's just straight up you get all these techs at once. So it would make more sense to differentiate these two a little bit more. Also, you have Legendary Short Sword. It's 2 less attack, let's see, 3 more initiative and 2 accuracy, weight 5. That one actually makes sense. Let's see. Other options are broadsword. Oh, another user interface thing that bothers me is legendary weapons are gray as much as regular axes and daggers are. It doesn't make any sense to me because legendary weapons are pretty awesome. They should at least be the same as Burning Axe. Oh, another thing that bothers me is you click Burning Axe and it says plus 6 cutting attack, plus 6 fire attack, plus 1 to crit chance. And then you look down here on the icons, and it sort of has a tooltip that says, you know, like Burning Axe is burning. It doesn't really tell you why these weapons would be an advantage to you. I like the description here, but the description might be better served to say what the weapon will do and what the mechanics are. See, because it's confusing to me. I'm not really sure how this works, but as far as I understand, fire attack ignores armor. So if you're fighting a heavily armored unit, your 6 cutting attack is only going to do 1 damage, which I think is minimum damage on a hit right now. And your fire attack will go through that, and their spell resistance will defend against it. Which is a pretty cool mechanic, except that 1 crit chance is pretty much, I mean, it matters a little bit, but for train units it doesn't matter at all, because look, my crit chance is only 1, and I can't increase that with dexterity like you can with heroes. So any axe weapon is never going to be valuable for a train unit. You're better off using a dagger, which is very lame on several levels, that a dagger is better than an axe. So I wish they would balance that a little bit better. Look at that, weight 9, weight 2. Yeah, there's no reason to choose regular axe. And this one, it's only useful if you know how it works. The other thing I can do is choose a incineration staff. That's a ranged attack thing. These are just added. They look very cool, and they do attack that will pass through things, or through armor, but once again, it's not stated anywhere that it will go through armor. It just says that a jet of fire can be coaxed from the embers that eternally burn on the tip of this staff. So, I mean, you really don't know what the hell's going on. Oh, point of fact, even though these staffs can do range attack, it would be nice if the range attack was an ability that you click on, and their standard attack was just a regular staff, the plus 1 initiative, -1 crit, plus 5 blunt. Oh, another thing about that is, it seems like this, I know it's a beginning of the game technology, but -1 crit doesn't particularly matter to a trained unit. The only reason why that would matter is The way I understand crit works is the enemy has to hit me. Uh, they have to get an accuracy roll that's 10 higher than my accuracy, and then they roll their crit, and I roll my crit. And if their crit roll is higher than my crit roll, then they crit on me. So using a staff apparently makes it easier for the enemy to crit by 1 point. But honestly, crit values just don't matter that much. And also on a game mechanic scale, it doesn't make sense that a staff would in any way impede your ability to avoid being crit. In fact, I believe that staves should offer you protection against crits and actually give you some stock defense. Like if you're in the very early of the game, you can't really get any armor until you research leatherworking. It would be nice if these staves could give you like +3 defense, +5 attack, and maybe get rid of the initiative bonus, so that you can have at least some minor defenses for basic early game units. Oh, another thing I got is the Legendary Maul. This is weight 22, which is extremely heavy. It's a two-handed blunt attack, so basically you get 24 blunt plus 100% of your strength bonus. Which in this case is only +2 attack, and it has -6 initiative. So my initiative on a heavy unit with a Maul is going to be 10, or 11 in this case. Let's see. Oh, I don't have him spec'd well. Alright, so you go Muscle, Strength, and Fury. So this is the max strength that you can get with a stock unit. And he gets +7 attack, plus the 24. So he has 31 attack, which is good. I mean, it's not great for the end game. I can get just about that with other weapons and still be able to use a shield, and shields are hugely valuable. But my point is that this weapon should either have less weight, or be one-handed, or maybe have less of an initiative penalty, because that initiative penalty is pretty detrimental considering that this weapon's only going to be used with heavily armored units probably, and right now that's pretty impossible unless you're a Trog. What else do I got? Yeah, I didn't get a legendary one-handed mace, which kind of bothers me because that would be a really simple thing to add, although I do have some pretty good mace options besides the legendary Tekai 1. Oh, this is one thing that I do like, is I have a legendary pike, which saved me about 100 turns of researching ridiculous crap to get the standard pike. That's 13 pierce attack, two-handed, ignore 60% of damage, weight 12. It's a very nice weapon, but what I especially like is the size difference. I mean, it's a seriously large pike, or staff compared to what you're getting on the other weapons, and it has a noticeable difference. The other thing that's cool is, you can't spin the guy here, but just trust me when I tell you that the legendary battle axe looks awesome. So, you can kind of see it here. It's a very cool design, and it's a pretty well balanced weapon. In fact, I'm thinking about switching my mounted units to using this. Wait, well, it's -2 initiative, which is fair, but it also has +2 accuracy, which is useless. It's another problem. Those +2 accuracies they just don't really matter much in the game. Once units start to level. Although, to be fair for the AI, I've never seen the AI level a unit, so it might be really crucial for them, I guess. Alright, but anyways. I'll give him the broadsword. Oh, one request I have is, all of these cloaks are magical, and thus cost crystal, and the warfare tree doesn't seem to give you any options of cloaks, which is kind of annoying because you think that someone who's specializing in warfare would have access to at least one cloak that can do something for them. So it would be nice if we got some sort of bonus there. I recently researched the champion armor, which is pretty much a way to turn train units into the most powerful units in the game, because you're essentially having a stack of, let's see, I think I get, yeah, 7 of these units, and each one gets, +1 accuracy per level, +1 constitution per level, +1 strength per level. That's huge. In fact, I use that on every new unit that I train, just because why would you not want +1 strength per level? And it's fairly cheap too. It's only 30 labor cost with a weight of 4. And at this point in the game, I'm saving up so much crystal just to be able to use this device that I don't really have to worry about balancing it with anything. Alright, so +8 dodge. This guy's going to have pretty good dodge. Oh, and I could increase my dodge by doing the +1 dexterity per level. And then doing the boots, which are +1 dodge per level. So as this unit starts to get to level 5, 6, and 7, which is pretty easy to do if you are in a constant war, he's going to become infinitely powerful. Another thing I like to do is give him the Dragonhide Cloak, because 50% fire defense, but it kind of sucks that you can't, given how powerful Fireball is, you should be able to get 85% fire resistance. And I don't know if you want to do that in the trait tree or with equipment or whatever, but oh, actually I can take a Ring of Embers that will give me 75%. But it would still be nice if there was a trait to get it to maybe 100%, because you'd think that magical armies would be able to create sort of like paladin units that are immune to most forms of magic. If you want to just make it really immune to one magic or 50% immune to all magics, it would be nice to have more equipment options to do that. Alright, this video is probably getting a little bit long, so I'll just cut to the chase here with this guy. Oh, okay, this is another thing that's interesting about traits. You can game the system by setting it to max strength right now to equip all of his armor and weapons and junk, and then get him everything that he needs. Let's see. I bought like 200 wargs from the guy I'm about to go to war with, so I can build an infinite number of wards. Let's see. Health regeneration, yes please. So I can do fire attack. Oh, one thing I would like, I know it's not detrimental to the game, but adding fire attack to any weapon, it would be nice if I got a small fire animation from the weapon, or at least make it glow red. Because then when I do cold attack, there should be a difference, and these should be mutually exclusive, really, because adding cold attack to fire attack doesn't really make sense. Alright, spell resist 3 defense. See, there's no armor to give me +1 intelligence per level. Oh, but the city that I'm training in has all of the research buildings in it, pretty much. So he'll get bonuses to intelligence from that. Which, by the way, is a great game mechanic for giving the civilization tree a little something extra to add to warfare. Alright, can I get the beard to go through the helmet? No. Okay, so now that I have the hero, he's at 61 encumbrance, and his initiative is reasonably high for what he's doing. I can take all the strength things off, and the encumbrance will go over 100, and I get to keep all of the armor on. It doesn't unequip all of his armor. I just can't change it without putting the strength back up to maximum. So now that I've abused the system, also keep in mind that I have +1 strength per level from my armor. So eventually when he starts to level, he'll have his encumbrance go up. And one thing that's cool is it'll reduce moves if you go over 100 encumbrance. That was a smart play. And initiative is pretty weak right now because of encumbrance. But you shouldn't be able to do this with a designed unit. So now I have my pick of all the traits. I don't have to worry about strength. And as he levels, his strength will go up to the point where his encumbrance will be fine. And also, since he's going to start at level 2, I think he'll be fine as soon as he trains. Alright, so since I'm doing an attack of 19, plus 25% attack damage is going to be plus 5 damage. That's a must. You can also abuse the brute and finesse things, plus 3 to accuracy, plus 3 to attack, with unit with lower strength. Well, my strength's going to start out at 10, but every level it'll go up by 1. So if I did max out my strength, or I wouldn't need to max out my strength, I just need to level a whole bunch. And eventually this unit would have higher strength than everyone, and thus have an plus 3 to these things on every battle. Also, I can do that with finesse, since dexterity isn't really a priority for most units, even heroes. I can easily outmaneuver them with getting tons of dexterity from leveling. The other thing is, I can do, where's that potential? Potential, plus 25 experience. Since I don't have to waste traits on strength like I would with a normal unit, I can actually increase how quickly this guy will level. And since he gets, what, 5 stats? 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, 5 stats per level. This is a huge bonus for any unit. Okay, so I have a group of heroes that have a movement of 4, so I can actually want to increase his movement by 1. Once he gets his encumbrance up, that'll be a movement of 4, so that I can have a really powerful, really fast army. Oh, also this is great. Since I don't have to do strength, I can use charge, which will boost his initiative to 17, or so 18 when the unit's trained. So basically he's not going to suffer initiative on his first strike. Plus he'll have 4, 5, 6, he'll have 7 moves on the first turn of combat. So essentially I'm getting like the best possible cavalry unit that you can imagine. And the rest of the traits are okay, but none of them really compare to this sort of in-game setup. Potential, scout, and charge. Oh, another thing that's funny is this reduces my weight capacity by 10. But down here, like if you look at it, my encumbrance is 110, reduce it by 10, and it's 146. So there's some bad math going on with the weight capacity thing. I don't know if the tooltip's wrong, and it was sort of rebalanced since 0.77, but it's sort of annoying that I don't really know how much that'll be reduced when I increase my strength. But whatever, you're not probably supposed to use Scout in this manner, but I'm going to use it this way just because I want to have a cavalry sort of army that can all have 4 moves. Alright, so those are the issues that I have with the unit design screens. As far as layout goes, I really like that we can see this guy, and I know that we've talked about it before. It's not going to ever probably be possible to like swing this back and forth. But it would be nice if maybe the animation made it spin back and forth on its own, just sort of, you know, like wobble back and forth slowly, so that I can see the unit a little better. I like that I can switch in between all these things while I'm doing this in case I need to do it. It's a good sort of like connected interface system. Oh, this is a little odd. This sort of gets grayed out, and sometimes stats and stuff sort of overlap and don't have enough space. So I don't know really how you would fix that, but it's only really a problem when I'm abusing the system anyways, I guess. So we'll leave it at that. Alright, so save the unit, because I'm going to train him. Alright, okay, so there isn't enough animations for mounted units, which probably isn't a priority, but these ones sort of have it at an angle that just kind of looks ridiculous. In fact, if you look at this side, his tower shield's going right through his leg. And that's not okay. I'll probably use this one just because it's the most interesting look. I really like all the different background options we have. You guys did a great job on that. Always love those. It's always fun to sort of look through and pick which ones. I know which one I want, though. I just have to find it. Oh, okay, that's another thing, is the pick a background thing. You can sort of thumb through them, but it would be nice to be able to see what these are a little better. So if you could make this area larger, that would really help out people that are trying to design stuff. I can't really find it. Oh well, that one's pretty intimidating. Or screw it. For the Tarth, I usually try to use the forest background for them. There aren't really enough forests or thick forests, so if you guys are making more art, put that on the list, I guess. Alright, so we come up with a unit. It's got cost of 22 metal, 38 crystal, 402 labor, and 1 warg. Which, you know, that's a fairly expensive unit, and I'm going to multiply that times 7. But it'll be infinitely powerful once I build it. And since the enemy is still using, or they just now started upgrading units to chainmail, and it's very apparent when I look at their economy that they're literally upgrading the units. So they're spending a crap load of money on their hundreds of units, trying to upgrade them one by one. I don't know that there's a better solution out there, but if I were them, I would just disband them and build late game level units, because I know they have the technology. But I guess there's some problems with which unit designs they're using right now. Alright, so that's the end of this one. I'll post more if there is other problems I have.